Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Now, India has received its first batch of Russia's Sputnik V vaccine doses today from Moscow. They arrived in Hyderabad. Now, in April, India became the 60th country to approve Sputnik V, the third vaccine that we have in our kitty, and it's the third vaccine in the world to boast of an efficacy of over 90%. Well, to talk more about the vaccine and when it'll be available to the public, we're joined now by Kirill Dmitriev, CEO, Russia Direct Investment Fund. Thank you so much for joining us again. So it's very exciting, the first batch of the Sputnik V vaccine arriving in India. When can we expect it to be available to the public?
Well, I think already in May, some people may get vaccinated with Sputnik V. We actually want to send a very clear message by sending it today that Russia is with India in this difficult time. We look at Sputnik V as a really Russian-Indian vaccine, because not only clinical trials were done in India, but also we worked a lot with Indian scientists, Indian producers. So in May, we know some people will already get vaccinated with Sputnik.
And more doses, more batches of the doses are expected in this month alone?
Yes, definitely. So we'll have many more coming, and also production in India will also start in May. And we actually expect to manufacture 850 million doses of vaccine in India this year. And starting from June, July, we expect the monthly production in India to be more than 50 million doses of the vaccine. So we definitely will be one of the contributors to fighting the pandemic in India, particularly with focus of new variants, because Sputnik is very efficient against new mutations.
In fact, that was going to be my next question, that, there's a lot of concern about the variants here, the double mutant variant, and how effective has this vaccine been found to be against them, if you could tell us.
So Sputnik basically showed that it has the same efficacy against British variant and all of the existing variants. It's slightly less effective against South African variant, but still much more than any of the other vaccine. And we believe that it's effective against the Indian variant. We already have done some preliminary testing. The final results will come out in the next couple of weeks. But we see Sputnik is very robust against mutations, because it uses what's called heterogeneous boosting. It's a cocktail of vaccines. We use two different shots, which makes the immune response much stronger. And we believe that will be very effective in fighting mutations. Also, in 1 to 2 months, we will release a version of Sputnik with all of the mutations already included in the vaccine.
All right, so that's very welcome news. So you are tweaking the vaccine for the new variants?
Yes, we are. We already have done it, and we are just upscaling it. And also we are looking to have vaccine partnerships. So for example, with Serum Institute, we believe we could have also a combination of their shot and a Sputnik shot, which will be more effective against some of the variants. So we're completely open to partnership with existing India vaccine. We believe that India has done tremendously successful job in ramping up production. Yes, of course, there are some difficulty because it has a very large population, but you have some of the best pharmaceutical companies in the world.
All right, another key question that everyone wants to know is how much is it going to cost?
Well, Dr. Reddy is in discussion with the Indian regulator on the final price. We have a standard price for Sputnik to all of the countries, and then there are additional logistical and distribution charges. So Dr. Reddy, our great partner, is discussing it with the regulator. I think they will come to some kind of decision in the next couple of weeks, I hope.
Is there any number that you can share with us? Any, what numbers you're discussing right now?
I think we will have Dr. Reddy to share the number, and they will share it imminently, I think.
All right. In India, we are seeing also this case in which, it's priced differently for the states, it's priced differently for the center. I know this is our own internal issues, but do you have any views on that, or do you know if that's going to be a similar thing with the Sputnik pricing?
Well, I think once it's very important to get and scale up Indian production. I think once Indian production is up and running and scaling, then the costs could actually come down. For now, we are producing in India and Korea and other places, and it's a vaccine definitely much more affordable than some of the mRNA vaccines, but it will be, I think, more expensive than some of the existing Indian vaccines. But Dr. Reddy and regulator will tell you we are really focused on affordability to make sure that it is affordable.
All right, that's some welcome news. Now, recently, Brazil, however, didn't give the go-ahead to Sputnik. They cited concerns about the quality and lack of data. Sputnik has claimed that this was a politically motivated decision. What can you tell us?
Yes, I think it's just part of this misinformation campaign that some people have seen about Sputnik from day one. we actually had some negative news about Sputnik even before it was registered. And it's done for political reasons, for some of the competitive reasons, following this Brazilian, decision. And by the way, they said they're open to reconsider, they're open to consider Sputnik, but we just had 2 regulatory approvals yesterday from Turkey, overall 64 countries authorized Sputnik, and 3.2 billion people live in those countries. So there is no question Sputnik is one of the safest vaccines out there. You have data from Hungarian, Mexican, Argentinian regulators that compared 5, 6 different vaccines they use, and Sputnik is consistently one of the most effective and the safest vaccine. And this is real world data that shows that Sputnik is very safe. And frankly, we believe that Anvisa made some false information, accusations. We showed them that they're wrong, and there is no question that we are right and they're wrong, and all of the world regulators.
Right, but their concerns was about how different batches, had different sort of quality, or they were concerned about quality control, and they found differences in the different batches that were produced?
No, they actually, this is what they said originally, but then they said, oh, we didn't test anything themselves. So they just looked at some of our documents, they just really misunderstood them and misread them. And rather than asking us a question, they started, giving false information to the media. So it's a very strange situation. They're already backtracking. They already say, no, let's reconsider. But again, it's very clear. They said there is this recombinant adenovirus, which is a harmless virus, cannot even causing a cold, can sometimes exist in the vaccine. We are clear, it doesn't exist in the vaccine. There are quality controls to ensure it, and it's very clear, and they actually had a letter on this, that we have quality controls to ensure very good purification, that the vaccine is safe and doesn't contain replicated adenovirus.
All right. Well, here in India, I think we're very excited about the vaccine, given that its efficacy has been proven to be above 90%, and that was published in the Lancet as well, and that's better than the vaccines we have with us currently.
Well, by the way, you have great vaccines, and it's great that they were able to manufacture it in quite volume. And we do have efficacy 91.6% based on the Lancet magazine. On real world use in Russia, it's actually showed 97.6% efficacy. High, but once again, we believe producers in India later on to combine some shots and really work in partnership, because we see that in the world there are some vaccines trying to attack others. We find it very unethical, and I think the exemplary partnership we have is actually with India, where we are great friends and partners with current Indian vaccines. We believe they're very good. And really, it's an example to the world how vaccine manufacturers should partner and work together rather than trying to attack, as you have seen some of the attacks, information attacks on Sputnik.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kirill Dmitriev, for speaking to us, and an exciting day as the first batch of vaccines from Russia have arrived here.
Thank you so much.